Are you about to watch this video and you're not liked and subscribed to it? Like the video, please. Just go down. It's right there. It's right there.
I did. I hit it. I hit it. Have you hit it?
Welcome back to Starting
Let's
Nine.
go.
Episode 273. It's Tuesday because we needed Labor Day to do some thinking, some preparation.
To not labor.
We needed to get our business in order for a conversation that I'm sure most of you are looking forward to start this particular program on this September 7th. Not yet fall day, but it feels like fall is quickly approaching, doesn't it, Dallas?
It's almost fucking PSL season. It's almost PSL season.
Oh, we're already there, baby. We're sucking down some fucking pumpkin cold brews.
Oh, Carrabis went early basic bitch uni. Basic bitch uni. Carrabis, the rule, well, my rule is football season, soon kickoff, Thursday, my boys in Tampa, all right? That's the first PSL getting sucked down.
Mm-hmm.
Kickoff season, PSL season, fall season. That's how I roll.
Yeah.
I don't want to premature.
This was an accident, actually.
What happened? They fuck your order up?
Yeah, so they originally, I just get a regular cold brew, and then they made me the pumpkin cold brew, which is delicious. And they were like,
is it nitro?
Here you go. No, it's the pumpkin cream cold brew. And they're like, do you want us to redo it? And I was like, I'll give it a shot. I've never had one before. It's all the rage.
Now. You're dialed
they
now.
gave it
Welcome.
to me.
Welcome.
I've had one like 15 straight days.
Welcome.
Yeah. It's delicious. It basically it tastes like a shipyard. Pumpkin coffee.
It tastes like a what?
Shipyard?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Dallas. What?
Is that an East Coast thing?
Apparently, every few weeks I find out that things that I thought were universally known are East Coast things.
You live in a fucking town with 20,000 people, Jared. My high school was quite literally a fifth of Saugus.
Yeah. Like, I remember I said I was going to a wake, and someone on the West Coast was like, what the fuck is that?
Well, that's
what?
like a Catholic thing, Irish Catholic thing, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that. And then steak tips, I didn't know until I moved to New York that's like a Boston thing. Candlepin bowling, that's also just like a Boston thing. No one knows what the fuck that is.
Nobody.
You can go, even in New England, you can go to Maine, and they're like, what the fuck is candlepin? It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a feel like everybody in Boston now is like, you know what? We got a cool regular shit going on out in the world. There's a lot of cool regular shit out in the world that we're not really good at. So we're going to fucking switch it up. We'll abbreviate it, chop some shit off it, call it our own, and that's what we'll do.
Well, I mean, don't knock. You've had steak tips before, correct?
No. I'm trying to think if I had them at the restaurant.
God.
That I went to. Remember when I came to Saugus and toured Saugus?
We went to Kowloon.
Well, no, I stopped at a place before there.
Oh, Nick's.
Nick's.
Yeah, Nick's has good steak tips. Yeah. I mean, I've got to take you somewhere where the bomb ass steak tips are.
Oh wow, that's tough. I hope Nick doesn't listen to this. Nick, below average steak tip offering in Saugus.
It's a sub shop. There's a difference between sub shop steak tips and we're sitting down for steak tips.
I feel like steak tips are almost like burnt in category. Do you know what burnt ins are?
No.
Rib burnt ins, brisket burnt. Okay, all right, never mind. it's just a portion of a greater cut of meat.
Yeah.
That is then served as an appetizer, side dish, whatever,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what steak tips are. It's its own part of the cow. They're just
where's the steak tip located on the cow, Jared?
The quad. I'm gonna look that up right now. Where
the fucking quad?
Where do steak tips
come from? When's the last time you saw 3 or 4 Holsteins kicking it out in the fucking pasture, stretching out their quads?
Steak tips
What's
are
wrong
most
with
often
Bessie,
cut from
Al?
the
She's got a
sirloin.
bum quad, Henrietta. Sorry, she's going to be late to the fucking...
Steak tips are most often cut from the sirloin, but they can be cut from any part of the cow. These premium steak tips are robust and meaty thanks to the varied tender steaks they're cut from.
So you're reading a menu from where?
Like tri-tip, flank steak, and of course, sirloin.
Do you know what a tri-tip is?
No.
So there's probably steak tips. That's where I'm guessing they'd be getting their tri-tip, or they'd be getting their steak tips from, because the tri-tip can render some nice tri-tip steaks as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah. Steak tips are a distinctly New England cut. They're sometimes called sirloin tips because they can be cut from the sirloin, but also from the tenderloin, flank, or other tender beef. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I moved to New York, and I was like looking on whatever the fuck their app is called to order food from, Seamless, and I was typing. It's like you can type in by restaurant or meal, and I typed in steak tips, and it was like, what is that?
Yeah. No, don't have them. Well, that's been bringing the beef here with Starting Nine.
Yeah, love that.
One of the coolest tattoos. One of the coolest tattoos I've ever seen, and a lot of butchers have these. Because I know 3 different butchers. 2 of them have this tattoo of the cow.
Yeah.
With the cuts of meat, like on a dotted line, labeled.
Ooh.
Pretty cool.
I do like that.
It's pretty cool.
You know what else is pretty cool?
Tell me immediately.
The San Francisco Giants playing the Dodgers this past weekend.
That was cool.
Taking 2 out of 3.
Not as cool as them just playing them. Like, that was going to be fun. That was going to be cool. When they won more games than they lost against the Dodgers, that's when the coolness wore off for me.
The standings, you got the Giants in first, followed by the Dodgers here in second place.
But those are unofficial because the season's not over.
Yeah, no, the season's not over. But this is like the official standings right here. You got Giants in first place, and you have the Dodgers in second place.
We'll call them officially unofficial because it's not done. So
yeah, it's not done.
Yeah,
they're Giants officially in first place though, right here.
Ish. I mean, they're on the top of the list that is ever changing. I'll say that.
Yeah, you've got second place Dodgers right here, and then you got the Padres down here. Yeah, not even really in the same neighborhood in terms of winning percentage right now. But this is really about the Dodgers and Giants. Do you have anything to say now that they've completed their season series against each other, in which the Dodgers took, I believe, 10-9, right? No, the Giants took 10-9.
Giants took 10-9. Giants took the season series. No, like I tweeted out, once again, it's as if, because it was a win expectancy chart. Mm-hmm. And the Dodgers start way at the top, Giants start lower than they did. And at the end of this, where we're at today, both points obviously converge. Mm-hmm. And I tweeted out, it's almost as if nobody had this happening, and the Giants were just like, yeah, you guys can kiss our ass. It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And like when I think about seeing this coming, I would have to dive a little deeper into the performances of some of the, I guess, unsung heroes on this team, because I think it's one thing to, as I've stated before, not expect this kind of production on a whole from your entire team. And then it's another thing to get the performances you've gotten. And as I've said this entire season, where are they coming from? So if you could see this coming, I am curious as to what, outside of the outstanding performances on the flyer guys we've talked about in the rotation, and the almost career years for veterans across the board, guys that were, again, kind of, I don't want to say being penciled out, but there were question marks like, how's this going to go and how long is it going to last if it's going to be good? So flyer performances on the mound, veteran performances in the lineup, and you tell me you saw it coming, or you could, I just would have to take a look at, like if you're telling me that Logan Webb is a part of that equation, like, oh, well, we knew what Logan Webb was going to be doing. Well, look, there's no denying what Logan Webb has done. Was it 14 starts, 15 starts, or whatever? Fucking like, the guy's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But, again, this is at the beginning, like, this is a team that has, that Wilmer Flores penciled in every day. Every day.
Big Oakland A's guy.
Who's that? Wilmer Flores?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Oakland A's guy.
Loves him. Big fan.
So there's I don't know what there is to say anymore. Like bottom line is the Giants are in their driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
But the Dodgers feel like they've got a little bit of a run in them.
Do they?
Feel like they might. A run that sees them take that division over at the end.
Do you talk to anyone with the Dodgers?
Maybe.
Because they've got the Cardinals,
Mm-hmm.
who I think we kind of fairly assessed as a team that they're in the middle of this series. They beat them yesterday 5-1. They've got 2 more against them. Oh, 3 more. It's a 4-game set.
4-game set, I think.
Then they've got the Padres, the D-backs, the Reds, the Rockies, the D-backs again, the Padres, and then they finish with the Brew Crew.
So I'm seeing Reds in there kicking some dust a little, and then the Brewers at the very end of it all. It feels like that's a time for the Dodgers to sink their teeth into a D-backs and a Rockies and, like I said, Jared, kind of strap their own rocket to their own ass and take off.
And the Cardinals still have something to play for. The Padres still have something to play for. The Reds have something to play for. The Brewers, they will, by the last series of the season, I mean, the division's going to be locked up, so I don't know that.
What's the season series between the Padres and the Dodgers, though?
Let's see. That would be.
The Dodgers are up there, no?
The Padres are winning the season series 7-6.
When's the last time they played?
Very recently, remember? It was like, we did like the weekend breakdown and we listed 3 different series before we got to Dodgers-Padres. Kind of lost a little bit of its luster. But the Giants, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. The Dodgers are playing some teams that are still going to be trying towards the end.
Sure.
And even the teams that might not be trying, like if you have your last series of the season against the Brewers, it's not like the Brewers are just going to go out there and try and lose. They're still a good team, even if they're resting guys. So the Dodgers have somewhat of it's not a difficult schedule, but it's not a cakewalk either. The Giants have the Rockies, who they're in the middle of the series began yesterday. The Giants beat them 10-5 on Monday. They have 2 more there. The Cubs, who, as bad as they are in the middle of a 7-game winning streak. Cubs are hot. Cubs are hot right now. Then they've got the Padres for 4, the Braves, who are still fighting, the Padres again, the Rockies for 2, the D-backs, and then they finish with the Padres. A lot of games with is that right? They have fucking 3 series?
See, so
they have 3 series with the Padres to close out this season.
That right there, how many times do they play the Padres in the last 20 days of the season? Because we got 25 games left, right? How many games left we got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 10 games with the Padres left.
And so almost half of the games they have left are with one team, the same team that, as you just stated, in their square off against the Dodgers is going to be playing for something.
Yeah, it's been tight too. The season series, 5 games to 4 for the Giants.
Yeah, that's not just a. Look, when I refer to the Padres as a team that the Dodgers feel like they should be beating, that's different than how I feel about the Giants and the Padres, even with how the season has gone, even with the team that the Giants are showing who they are. I still in my brain am thinking, no, the Padres should be able to handle business. I still want to think the Padres should be able to take 2 out of 3 from that club. Now, the rotation matchups, the pitching matchups have a lot to do with how that could possibly play out for the Padres.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. It'll be very interesting to see how that dynamic plays out with 10 games. There's less than a month to go, and the Giants and Padres still have to play each other 10 fucking times.
I mean, that's
10.
That's an absolute just slobber knocker.
That just seems
left.
like poor schedule making, for being honest.
10 games. No, this is what's fun about it, because you've got implications abound. You don't win those games, the division drops. You're now a wild card team. You have to win those games if you're going to continue to stave off the Dodgers and keep a hold of the division. So either way you slice it, those games mean a whole fuck ton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no just kicking your feet up, because you have to remember all the work you've done as a team, the Giants, over this past month, where you thought you would be able to create a little separation for yourself. That has not happened at all. As well as you've played, you are now as close to being tied, coughing it up, as you've ever been on a consistent basis. I'm talking about the division lead.
Yeah. Well, if you want to talk about the wild card, because we just mentioned the Padres, they're back in. They're back in. It's not like they've been playing outstanding baseball recently. They've been playing 500 ball over their last 10. But the fucking Cincinnati Reds have lost 2 straight, 7 of their last 10. They're a game back of the Padres for that second wild card spot. And don't count out the Phillies, Dallas. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, the Phillies could make the second wild card spot, and I still wouldn't know what to think of them.
No, I mean,
I still wouldn't know how to handle that.
No, like who do you, trust me. And I say this, and yes, watching the Oakland A's slide, which we will get to here shortly, has allowed me to like pull back the lens a little and factor in teams like Philly. St. Louis has been a team that I've been banging the drum for, but even a New York Met team
still alive.
Fuck around and let the Mets win some ball games in a row while the guys above them start to falter a little, and see what we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm. The Philadelphia Phillies, Dallas, have won 8 of 10. They're hitting the ball. They're hitting the ball right now, I think, as a team.
Bryce Harper clubbing.
They over this 10-game stretch in which they've won 8 of 10, they have the best team OPS in Major League Baseball. Right behind them, the New York Metropolitans, who have won 7 of 10. And then behind them, the surging Toronto Blue Jays, baby. That's another team very similar to the Phillies. The Blue Jays have won 5 straight. They've won 8 out of their last 10. Not to jump around between wild cards, but the Toronto Blue Jays remind me of the Phillies in that they can't decide who they are or who they want to be. The Blue Jays have they've leapfrogged the Oakland A's. They've tied the Seattle Mariners. They are 3 games back of the Boston Red Sox for the second wild card spot that should be occupied by the New York Yankees, if we're being honest, because if you have a fucking 7-1 lead with Chris Sale on the mound, you cannot lose that baseball game.
Ouch.
So the Blue Jays should actually be 3 back of the New York Yankees, not the Boston Red Sox, for the second wild card spot. But I think it's going to get super interesting with the AL in terms of that wild card spot. I think it'd be great for, I know there's a lot of like small market fans that are like, oh, Red Sox, Yankees, we've seen that a million times, but Red Sox, Yankees in a 1-game playoff would be fucking awesome. But the Mariners, the Blue Jays, will even, just to be fair, we'll throw in the A's. There's a lot of exciting teams that could end up in that wild card game.
Just to be fair?
Sure. Just to be fair, yeah. I mean, like there's no fucking chance that they make it. They're just not that good.
I don't know about that.
They're just not that good.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they got to leapfrog 3 teams in 3 weeks.
And it's not even that they haven't played that well. There's been a glaring stumble.
What's that?
Well, the pitching has been abysmal.
Yeah.
Period. Starting pitching. I mean, we can't get deep into a ball game right now. Struggling to get through 5. Struggling to get to 5 at times. So when that happens, you know who starts to feel that. Guys down there in the bullpen. And whether you're going well or winning games in the middle of a fog where the starters can't get shit done, the bullpen could very well find themselves coming into games that the team is winning, but being unable to hold that lead. And when that happens, like, consistently over a week or so, you go from being in a wild card spot, having maybe a 2-game lead or so in a wild card spot, to now being 3.5 out with 25 left and going, well, this is not exactly how I thought this was going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happened to the Oakland A's. Because, Matt Chapman, as hot as he's been all season long.
Yeah.
And you're just unable to capitalize on guys showing up at just the right time because it feels like other guys are taking a vacation at the most inopportune time. And when I say taking a vacation, I don't mean like they're not interested in winning. I don't mean that they're not interested in succeeding. This is a fucking dogfight. It's a long season, and this bullpen has been asked to do quite a bit. The flip side of being asked to do quite a bit, Jared, this is a starting staff that leads all of fucking baseball in innings pitched, and they can't get through fucking 5 now.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Oh, it's tough.
That's a problem.
Yep. You mentioned vacations. You ever been to Bermuda?
I've been to Bermuda. You ever been to Bermuda?
Have you really?
I have not been to Bermuda. I have no desire to go to Bermuda, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Well, Gosling's rum with its Bermudian values motivates people to take time to stop and smell the roses, which I feel like you need to do after the way that the A's have been playing baseball, to step away from the rat race and just be happy, which I feel like you haven't experienced in quite some time now because of the Oakland A's. Family owned and operated since 1806. Gosling's rum is the spirit of Bermuda, and the Dark and Stormy is Bermuda's national drink. The name Dark and Stormy was said to have originated around the 1920s when an old fisherman observed that the drink was the color of a cloud only a fool or a dead man would sail under, probably followed by barman, I'll have another Dark and Stormy. Gosling's makes it even easier as they have ready-to-drink Dark and Stormy canned cocktails. It's 100% authentic with no malt base. It's just Gosling's Black Seal rum and Gosling's Stormy ginger beer ready to go. Find it in your local liquor store, pre-mixed cocktail aisle. Gosling's is the official rum of the Boston Red Sox and offer a limited release Red Sox edition Fenway Green Dark and Stormy can, available at Fenway Park and at liquor stores in New England. On reservebar.com, receive $15 off an order of your order of any Gosling's product with the promo code BARSTOOL.
All right, I'll go to Bermuda if they're slanging Dark and Stormies.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, I can do that.
All day, all night, yeah. The Blue Jays swept the Oakland A's.
That's what I heard. And the Braves infield has made history.
What is it, 20 homers? All 4 of them have 20 or 25?
25. All 4 of them have 25 homers.
Damn.
Pretty sick.
Some fornicating young men.
Pretty sick.
In Atlanta.
What I saw in Toronto, Jared.
Mm-hmm. What'd you see?
A whole lot of banging.
Yeah.
A whole lot of banging.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of banging going on. Blue Jays scored 29 runs. 29 runs, 3-game set.
That's a lot.
38 hits they amassed. 38 hits.
Mm-hmm.
And a fucking heartbreaker.
What happened?
Easily the worst, most devastating loss of the season.
What happened?
Not even a question. Let me throw this number out at you.
Okay. 18
1
million? What?
And 457. That's a record. All right? 1 and 457. You want to know what that record represents?
Team's record against the A's when something specific happens.
Teams this year in the game of baseball, in the sport of baseball, are 1 and 457. That's their win-loss record. 1 and 457 when trailing by 6 runs or more after 8 innings this year.
There's only been one win. Was it the Angels against the Yankees?
The one win would be my Pittsburgh Pirates against the New York Metropolitans back in mid-July.
Okay.
But that changed. That changed on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 8-2. 8-2 in the fucking 8th inning.
Mm-hmm.
Gurriel hits a fucking grand slam.
Was that off Petit?
A grand slam. Yeah, off Petit. Yusmero. Like, and just so you understand, like, how the bullpen is going here for the A's, like what's working, what's not working, the options, where we're going here. With a 6-run lead, the A's tab, and just talking about pure stuff here, 96, 97, 98, up to 100 at times. Wipeout, slider, cutter type shit. Good curveball. All right. That's the arm and the repertoire that they go to up 6. That's what they have. That's the options down there. As the lead starts to dwindle, the firepower that's available to combat that surge kind of takes a hit. It's not as strong, if you know what I mean. So you got 95 to 97 with a 6-run lead. That starts to dwindle. We go 88 to 92-ish from the right side. Now we really got to get outs. It's 85 to 88. So there's just not much wiggle room down there. And in that moment, let me say this too, because Sean and I had thrown the ball very well. This is for A's fans who are listening. I appreciate all 5 of you. Throwing the ball very well. Very well. Felt like he could go back out there for another one. If you understand who Lou Trevino has been for the team, and you understand where the team is headed or wants to go this year, postseason, you understand what they need, closers, guys down there at the back end who can stop it, and you understand what Lou has struggled with this season, how he has struggled. If in a 8-2 ball game with a 6-run lead, if that is not a spot for you to plug in your would-be closer to give him an opportunity to gain some confidence and get shit right again, if that's not a spot for Bob Melvin to go, hey, look, you know what, Sean? August was not very kind to you. We just got 7 strong innings out of you right now. I want you to have a positive thought and a positive taste in your mouth coming off of this outing, which we should absolutely win. And I need to be able to get Lou Trevino. I need to be able to get his magic back. We need to get him singing and dancing again. And right now, with a 6-run fucking lead in the 8th inning, that feels like a pretty good shot, if I was ever going to have one, to give the starter who struggled for a month a great breath of fresh air and positivity, and then get my closer back on track. That didn't happen, Jared.
Sure
and
didn't.
That's that.
It sure didn't.
That's that. Canada came up in the 9th, hit a fucking 2-run homer. Thought we were going to win the fucking ball game. Nay. Marcus fucking Semien.
Can we give some Marcus Semien love today? Because, Marcus Semien.
So listen to this. Alek Manoah said something that almost brought me to tears as a fan, because that's something that A's fans know about this dude. Marcus Semien has been in Toronto for the entire season. And in this season, he has already positioned himself in the minds of everyone in that clubhouse, as Alek Manoah put it, as their fearless leader. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on. Of course he is. Of fucking course he is, Jared. Of course he is. You got Charlie Montoya talking about what a phenomenal example this dude sets each and every day, grinding the axe, same time, same place, same effort level. If anything, it only gets better. So it's no question in my mind that the reason you see the Toronto Blue Jays really feeling like they've got some dust to kick and really feeling like they can make some noise is because they can. They've got a lineup. I mean, buddy, you want to tell me that the Atlanta Braves lineup fucks? You learn you something about them boys up in the north.
Oh, I've had experience.
They bang.
Also, Springer, I believe I saw it was day to day, no IL. But
and this is where, like Randall Grichuk for the Jays,
yeah,
gots to come correct now.
Yeah,
gots to, because Springer, albeit on one leg, came up big, hit a double. I mean, he is on one leg, legitimately on one leg. Like watching him swing, and I was talking about it all series long, like what a savage the dude is, because he knows what time it is right now. He knows how important he is to that team. I say it all the time. It could be fucking 1-0 by the time you get your popcorn with George Springer.
Can we just talk about how Marcus Semien has 34 doubles and 37 homers?
He's going to...
But doesn't have an OPS of 900. How is that? Because he leads the league in plate appearances?
Yes, because
He gets up there so many fucking times. I mean, 34 doubles,
well, how many
37
walks?
homers.
How many walks?
And he has walked 54 times.
He's putting the ball in play.
Well, I mean, he's punched 127 times, which is approaching his career high. He will probably eclipse his career high.
You're going to have a second baseman hit 40 fucking homers and 40 doubles.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's putting himself in a
your
position.
OPS, you go ahead and throw that right out the fucking window. You're playing
he's
second
30
base.
years old. This is his age 30 season.
Career high in RBI.
Career high in everything.
Second base. If they don't sign Marcus Semien to an extension, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know what else you need to see from this dude for you to think that you got something better. All love in the world to Kevin Biggio. Sorry, bro. That's not it. Like, sign Marcus Semien to let Kevin Biggio come along.
Do you have the balls, Dallas?
To say they signed him to an extension?
No.
Oh.
To say that he gets more than $100 million? Does Marcus Semien going into his age 31 season get $100 million in free agency?
I don't. Oh, man. You know what's tough about this is 19, career year. 20, COVID year. 21, seems like he picked up right where he left off when it came to regular season baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about those two things, sure. Like, I think you're probably knocking on the door. You're somewhere around there. But that's where the length of it comes into play. Because, I mean...
Will you give him 5 for 100?
I was just going to say, do you got him making 25 a year?
I mean, he's making 18 right now, and he's probably worth, what, fucking...
30?
Yeah.
Like that's where because look, if he's making 25 a year and I've got him anywhere between I think I said it like a 2 and 4 year deal, like ultimately maybe a 2 and 5, like come on. I don't know if somebody signs up Marcus Semien for the next 5 years. I don't know if that happens. I could see the next 2 to 3 years.
Marcus Semien leading all position players in B WAR. 6.1. Correa right behind him. Vladdy Jr. third. Tatis. He leads the majors for position players and wins above replacement. Baseball Reference.
Yeah, I could see Marcus Semien on a nice, because, and this is where we qualify and offer 18, 19 mil, somewhere between there, 20 mil. He's a dude that I think you could whittle down the dollars on, the AAV, if you give him a chunk of time that he appreciates.
Do you think if given the chance he would stay in Toronto? You think that's where he wants to be?
That is all dependent on the Toronto Blue Jays front office. because Marcus Semien he's a man of extreme character. And how you treat him, how you treat his family, how comfortable they are, that shit matters. That shit matters. And it's all up to the Blue Jays. Because Marcus is going to have offers, right? He's going to have offers. So right now, you've got the hottest girl in school. Like, you got her arms around you. You're dancing the dance. You have the option to sneak that kiss before the lights go on, and she's got to go back with her friends, go home, and then now anybody can call her. And you don't know how that's going to work out next weekend. Maybe you're not the dude that she's talking to. That's how this goes, in my mind. They got to make some noise, I think, sooner rather than later. Show Marcus you love him, and you're going to get what you're getting.
Who just got? Oh, fucking Charlie Morton.
Charlie
Morton.
Morton.
Charlie Morton just got a fucking extension since our last episode. It's weird timing, but if you're ready to commit, pop the cue. Get down on one knee, baby.
Is it weird timing, or do you think it?
It's weird timing. When's the last time you can think of like a notable name getting an extension in September?
But stuff like this, Jared, is part of the whole. You know what? We've got good vibes going here right now.
Sure.
We could send a message here right now.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't like the idea of it. I'm just saying that it's unconventional to see an extension get done in September. Because a lot of players will come at you and say, "Well, I'm focused on the playoffs." Like especially if you're on a playoff team, like Morton's on the Braves, we're trying to win a fucking division here. I'm not negotiating contracts. A lot of guys will say, "I don't want to negotiate midseason." A lot of guys will say, especially in September, it's a weird month. We're about to make the fucking playoffs. And then a lot of guys will use answers like that to avoid having to say, "Oh, there's way more money in free agency than there would be if I'm negotiating with just this one team. So no, I'm not interested in talking right now. So we'll talk in the wintertime, just like you and the other 29 teams will have a chance to talk to me."
Well, look, Charlie Morton's made north of $100 million in his career, right? And
I never would have guessed that, to be honest.
And probably 50 to 60 million of that has been after the age. How old is he?
33.
Yeah, it's been after the age of 35. Charlie Morton's making fucking bank, bud.
Charlie Morton's fucking 37.
37.
Holy shit,
Jared. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
But my point is, you. How about this? Think about this. What are they going to? How much are they going to pay Ozzie Albies and Ronald Acuna Jr. combined next year?
Dallas, he turns 38 in November.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he'll be 38 on opening day next year.
Yep.
I mean, it's a 1-year deal. I mean, good for him. Like, it's for good money, $20 million. It's great.
Well, look, that's the whole idea. Is he's having this year with this club, and they're having this success right now. You have the opportunity, if you're Charlie Morton, to pencil yourself in mentally to a place next year. Take care of that. Check. Don't have to worry about free agency. And this is where, if you're comfortable as a veteran with your scenario, with your surroundings, he's on a good young club, right? He would essentially serve as one of the anchors in a spoken-for rotation next year.
Mm-hmm.
This same rotation has a 1.5-game, 2-game lead right now in their division as it sets. So postseason definitely on the brain. But again, those positive vibes that I talk about in a clubhouse when you're winning and guys are swinging the bat well. We just became the second infield in Major League history for all 4 of infielders to have 25-plus homers. Riley, Dansby, Ozzie, Freddie. You know you got Rack JR coming back next year. Like,
yeah. And let's not gloss over the fact that it's for $20 million.
Well,
like,
so there's
if I'm him and I just came off the postseason that I came off of with Tampa, and I got a 1-year piece from Atlanta. From that, I had to go and shove in the playoffs to get that. and now I do well enough in Atlanta to where they're ready to give me $1 million, so I don't have to work, like, go into this offseason thinking, like, all right, well, where's my next paycheck going to come from? I'm going to be 38 years old. There's a lot of doubt there, or a lot of uncertainty, I guess is the better word than doubt. You throw a 1 year, $20 million in front of me, like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going to take that, especially if I'm happy in Atlanta.
And he just essentially secured 2 bags, because if he performs well next year, that $20 million club option that Atlanta has, you bet your ass they pick it up. Now, I don't know if they've got a bar set in their mind where they've already said, like, unless Charlie Morton comes out here and does exactly what he's doing now, like, then we can't entertain it, because there is no buyout option. There's no buyout attached to that option. So typically if a team has an option like they do for Charlie, 20 mil, if they don't exercise it, the player tries to be able to finagle that payout in there. Well, okay, don't pick up the option, but you got to pay me 2 mil, whatever it's going to be. So that's something to consider. But the comfort and the success of the team right now and the trajectory of the team right now is what makes that decision for Charlie Morton easy in my mind.
Yeah. Congrats to Chuck Mo. Vladdy Jr. He's got 40 tanks.
Bro.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because the Shohei Ohtani show rolls on. He's going to win the MVP. Salvador Perez, who I owe an apology. What?
You do owe an apology to Sal, and I'm glad you're going to give that to him. But before we skip over Vladdy hitting 40, we got to put some respect on him and his dad's name, because they are just one of 2 father-son duos to ever hit 40 tanks in the same season. Or not in the same season, but 40 tanks. That in the same season, that'd be tough. Joining Prince Fielder and Cecil Fielder.
Ooh.
Vladdy's going to be a Vladdy's going to be a, I'm seeing Miggy type shit, flashes of Miggy type stuff from Vlad right now. Like Sunday, I think it was. 3 balls the other way. Nice and easy. Bing, bing, bing.
Did
2
it
of them
again on
barreled,
Monday.
1 off the end. Still looked like it was barreled mildly. And it was just because that's where the pitch was. The field on the right side was opened up, and he just hit the hole. Just as easy as, like, you got the sense that if he were to take that approach every time, he could hit 700. That's just what it felt like. Now, it's not true, but that's just what it felt like. And the reason I draw that comparison to Miggy is because Miggy's the gold standard when it comes to him and Pujols cutting the swing down and taking what's pitched and taking what the game is giving you. And to see Vladdy hit the ball as hard as he does, because he's in the top when it comes to exit velocities, in the top when it comes to barrels per plate appearance, like the dude hammers the baseball. So for him to have the ability to just use the other field and shorten it up, like, that's kind of scary to think about because of how fucking good the kid is already.
Vladdy Jr. is, what, 22?
Yeah, probably.
22. And he won't turn 23 until maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before opening day next year.
Yeah. He leads.
Having a 40 home run season, I want to know, like, I want to see an actual list of, I mean, hitting 40 home runs in a season is impressive no matter how old you are, but to see a list of guys who have hit 40 home runs at 22 or younger, that's got to be a small list.
Well, and it's probably chock full of hofers.
Yeah. I don't think you can hit 40 as a 22-year-old.
Vladdy, as it sets today, 228 balls hit 95 miles an hour or harder from him. The next closest has 213. You want to take a shot at who that is?
Wait, say that again?
Don't cheat.
I was Googling Bonds, or not Google. I was baseball referencing Bonds to see how old he was when he hit 40 for the first time. He was 28.
Oh. Yeah, 213 is the second highest number of balls hit 95 miles an hour or harder this year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that person is?
Who's number one?
No, I told you who's number one. Vladdy.
Stanton.
No. You owe this
Miguel
man an
Sano.
apology, which we're going to let you get to.
Salvador Perez.
You got it. Tell Sal you're sorry.
Sorry.
Fucking raking.
So I have a
But
question
yes.
about this.
You been thinking about Sal hitting 40?
I mean, he already hit 40.
I
I've
know.
been thinking about him breaking the record, and I'm curious.
What, beating Soler?
Huh? Johnny Bench. He's coming for Johnny Bench.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the organizational record.
I'm talking about the most home runs in a season for a catcher, but I'm not sure how this works because the record is 45. 1970, Johnny Bench hit 45 home runs for the 1970 Reds, but he hit 38 of them as a catcher. Salvador Perez this season, he has 27 home runs as a catcher and 14 as a DH. So if he hits 45 home runs, he's got 41. He's 4 homers shy of what Johnny Bench hit in 1970. But does it matter that he hit some of them as a DH? If you're just your position is like, I don't know, how does that work? How would you view that?
Well, here's what I would say. It's obvious that Salvador Perez, being in the American League, has the ability to DH. He has that option, right?
He does.
He's a catcher, though. We know that. Nobody's listing Salvador Perez as a DH. So, that being said, your catcher, Salvador Perez, has hit 40 fucking homers, however you want to slice it, all right? If he's even gone out there and played left field a couple times and hit a homer when he's done that, your catcher, Salvador Perez, hit home runs while he was playing in left field. That's how that works. If Salvador Perez came to camp this year without a catcher's glove and 0 catcher's gear and never once caught a fucking pitch, well, Salvador Perez, your DH, would have 40 home runs and would not be challenging Johnny Bench for the most home runs hit by a catcher. That's how I process that. So if your catcher, who's been a catcher for a long time, is catching in a season where he's also been able to be the designated hit, yeah, those home runs fucking count. But if you want to be very, very nitpicky, then that's where you go. Oh, well, he only hit X amount when he was actually catching. So that's the differentiation. Because are you going to tell me that if Salvador Perez hits more home runs than Johnny Bench, you're going to put an asterisk next to that homer total and let people know that only X amount of those were hit as a catcher? I don't think that's happening.
So, Vladdy, just before, I mean, obviously I'm going to talk about Salvador Perez, but I was still curious about the 40 home runs by a certain age. In 2019, Ronald Acuna Jr. became the 3rd player ever to hit 40 home runs at 21 or younger.
Ooh.
So already we know there's only 3 that have hit 40 at 21 or younger. I want to know what the number is for 22 and younger. I mean, I'm sure that number is out there right now because people love fucking the stats and all that stuff when something like this happens. But 3.
Very short list. Who are the others? Does it say it?
No, which is fucking weird, right? Oh, Mel Ott was 20 when he hit 42 homers for the New York Giants in 1940.
Mel Ott?
And Eddie Matthews was 21. He hit 47 homers for the Milwaukee Braves in 1953.
There you go. Both decent players.
Yeah.
Both plaqued up.
That is very surprising. I would not have guessed that Barry didn't hit 40 until he was 28.
Till later in his career. I feel like there's a large group of people who feel like the better part of Barry's production came in the latter stages of his career.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Griffey was 23. His first 40 home run season, he hit 45 homers in his age 23 season in 1993. So he's not in that club.
No.
Who else would you guess? Who else would you guess has 40 homer power by the age of 22? Is Juan Soto even 22 yet?
Yeah, Soto's 22, right?
Soto's 22. He'll be 23 in October.
Yeah, what about Miggy? Where was Miggy at? Not 40. 26?
Yeah, I don't think he was. Miguel Cabrera did not hit 40 home runs for the first time until he was 29. That's surprising. He came close a couple times. He hit 37. He hit 30. He hit 38 when he was 27. He hit 37 when he was 25. He hit 34 when he was 24.
Well,
that's got to be a short list.
I'm sure it is. Speaking of short lists, how about Wander Franco?
Yeah. Who did he tie? The Mick?
The Mick. Just an on-base machine, this dude. Like, that's one of the skill sets that gets paid attention to, because if you're walking, all right, he's got an eye. Discipline. He can separate balls from strikes. He's got a feel for the strike zone. And that's at a young age. I like that. Or the dude just rakes. Just 2 for 4, 2 for 3 with a walk, 1 for 4, 3 for 4. Like, it can be either one of those things. But when you got a young dude who shows an innate ability to get on base consistently, that's a big fucking deal. Wander Franco right now, 20 years old. 20 years old in 189 days. He's the youngest player with a 4-hit game since Juan Soto. Back on June 29, 2018. That was a tweet from Sarah Langs on September 6th. Like, the guy came up and has just said, you know what? Big leagues, I can adjust. I can let this transfer. The Rays, they've got to love what they see in Wander right now. I don't know how you're not excited.
I'm excited. I'm more excited that he's fulfilling the prophecy, because when you're the top prospect in baseball, how many times have we seen the top prospect in baseball get called up, flounder, get sent back down, change organizations, and then 3 years later it's like, oh, well, he finally found his groove. We just need a little change of scenery. Like, how satisfying is it for baseball fans when the top prospect in baseball gets called up, plays 60 games in the big leagues, hits 290, 349 on base, slugs 475, has 7 homers. He's got 4 triples. He's already got 15 doubles.
He's got multiple hits in 20 of the first 60 games he's played. 59, 60 games he's played. Multiple hit games.
Mm-hmm. And he's only going to get better. And that's stating the obvious.
Right.
But
only going to get better.
If the first 60 game sample is this, and that's if the first 60 game, and I'm surprised to only see 2 stolen bags. Maybe that's just like a Rays philosophy where they don't want him
They're not gambling.
swiping bags. Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But if this is our first 60 game sample of Wander Franco, you have to love the direction that this is heading in terms of, like, if this is just the baseline, what's the ceiling look like for this guy? What does his age 22 season look like? What's his age 25 season look like?
Ceilings for Wander Franco, vaulted. They're up there.
Giving hope to 5'10" guys across the world. You can be 5'10" and you can still be great. You can still achieve greatness if you're 5'10".
Shout out to the short kings out there.
Average height kings. Fucking asshole.
Jared, we have a announcement here from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration I'd like to share with you.
Yeah, please do.
It can be a little frustrating, especially if you're in a hurry, running late, find yourself at a railway crossing, waiting for a train, a little preoccupied. Understood. The signals are going. The train's not even there yet. You're feeling like, yeah, you know what? I could squeeze through. No big deal. You feel a bit tempted. Don't. Please, please, please do not. Ever don't do it. To the naked eye, trains appear to be a lot farther away than they really are. Like they're moving a lot slower than they really are. We both know neither of those things are true. They are moving at a very high rate of speed, and they are on you right now. And they don't stop quickly. It's not like your car where you hit the brake, boom, stop. No, we're talking miles for these locomotives to be able to slow down to the point where they're not going to hurt anything or anybody in their way. So please, don't be the something or the somebody in their way. The point is, you just don't know how quickly the train is going to get there. That's the take-home message. So why even gamble? If the signals are on, the train is on its way. Please, please do not tempt it. Just remember, stop. Trains cannot. So please, for more information about the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign, visit www.trafficsafetymarketing.gov for more information.
I always look both ways before driving over a train track just because if the lights aren't blinking, you can't really file a complaint after the fact that the technology failed.
It's real talk because I don't know how often these crossing intersections are maintained. Sometimes the arms go down. Sometimes the lights work. Sometimes the bells work. Sometimes none of that shit works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just,
I've always had that philosophy when I first started driving, and I would drive past these train tracks, and it's like, I don't think that you can complain to the league office that, hey, the fucking gates didn't come down and this train hit my car. Like, what the fuck? You'll be dead. So just check it out.
No complaint there. But
yeah.
Speaking of locomotives, there is a train on the loose barreling down the tracks of the National League Cy Young Award. And that train is none other than Max motherfucking Scherzer.
He's got a shot.
I mean, after my boy Walker Buehler kind of stumbled over the weekend, it absolutely opens up some space for Max Scherzer, who, Jared, as a Los Angeles Dodger, has done just about everything he could aside from hit walk-off homers his damn self. Right now, in his 7 games as a Dodger, Max Scherzer's rocking a 1.05 ERA. That's over 43 innings. All right? 5 walks, Jared. 5 walks. I take more walks after Thanksgiving dinner than Max Scherzer has yielded all fucking season. 5. Oh, how many punch-outs, you ask? Just 63 in 43 innings. That's all. Let's play a little game here, Jared. I'm going to give you 2 numbers, and I want you to guess which one is which. One of these numbers is K per 9. The other is K to walk. Close your fucking eyes, cheater. You ready? 12.6 is Max Scherzer's what?
Well, give me the other number.
No.
Why?
Because it's my fucking game.
This seems unfair.
No, it's not.
That's like asking me a question and then giving me the first multiple choice answer and then being like, is it this or not? Because are you going to give me a B? Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a B. But I want you to know, I want you to tell me where you think that number is. Is that his K per 9? Is that his K to walk?
It sounds like his K9.
Perfect, because you're incorrect. That's why I did it this way. because 13.2, Jared, is his K per nine. 12.6 is his strikeout to walk ratio. Yeah.
His first start with the Dodgers was on August 4th. And you know what? All right, Dallas, pop quiz.
Fuck.
Max Scherzer made his Dodger debut on August 4th. He has a 1.05 ERA, as you pointed out. There is a starter with a lower ERA than that over that same span. It's 1.04. Who is it?
In the National League?
I'll give you that hint.
Corbin Burns.
No.
Not Woodruff.
Nope.
Not a Brewer.
Nope.
It's in the National League?
National League. 1.04 ERA. 6 starts.
And it's not Bueller.
I'll give you another hint. Max Scherzer has a 1.05. This individual has a 1.04. Max Scherzer has struck out 63 batters.
Mm-hmm.
This individual, 35. It's not a big strikeout guy.
Logan Webb.
Logan
Nope.
Webb is third, 1.14.
Fuck. I don't know. Tell me.
Adam Wainwright.
Wayno! I
Yeah.
was never going to get that.
Yeah.
Never going to get that.
Adam Wainwright leads the majors in ERA since Max Scherzer became a Dodger.
So that last start, or his first start of that run, was that his CG?
Had to have been.
Yeah, had to have been.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Wayno, slicing and dicing.
Oh, yeah. Max Scherzer as a Dodger is second. Again, second in the majors in strikeouts per 9 since becoming a Dodger. Who's first? National League. First year with his team. He's got a 0.69 whip over this span. He's got a 1.71 ERA in 5 starts with his new team.
I gotta not get stoned if we're doing trivia like this. Fuck.
It's less trivia, more pop quiz. Pop quiz. Who is it?
Yeah, I'm not a test taker. From the NL.
From the NL.
Repeat the question.
Since Max Scherzer became a Dodger
Mm-hmm.
on August 4th, he is second in baseball with a 13.19 K per 9. Who's first? 13.64.
And you said this is a National Leaguer?
This is a National League starting pitcher who is in his first year with a new team.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Blake Snell.
Snellzilla.
Yeah. You never would
Really?
have got that one. Yeah. I never would have got that one.
No, because it doesn't feel, I mean, wow. Just doesn't feel like he's been dominating like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been doing really good. I mean, it's because, like, he's been going, like, fucking 8 innings, 1 or 2 earned, but the last pitch of his outing is always, like, a game-tying home run.
Oh. Wow. Wayno, Uncle Charlie, Scherzer.
Yeah. Yeah. You got Max Scherzer, easy, top 3 Cy Young this year?
Well, I mean, if it's trending the way it is right now, like, how is it not?
Very, very competitive in the National League. There's going to be Corbin Burns and Walker Buehler. Those are your top two guys. But I could very easily see a Max Scherzer getting involved in the equation here. Like, he already is.
Oh, yeah. Like,
it's going to be a very difficult decision between those three.
Like, let's just take a look at some of the easier, like, off the top statistics. Compare him and Buehler. I mean, same neighborhood ERA, same neighborhood FIP. Max Scherzer starts to separate himself. Ks per 9, walks per 9,
Whip.
Wins
above replacement. He's third. Corbin Burnes and Zach Wheeler are 1 and 2 in wins above replacement in the National League. Then you go FIP. I hate how it starts at the bottom. Patrick Corbin not having a great year. Corbin Burnes, Zach Wheeler, Max Scherzer. Like, did Walker Buehler just pitch himself out of the top 3? No.
With that outing? Like,
yeah.
It's not a great – I mean, that outing, it takes a hit, man.
Strikeouts. Zach Wheeler, Max Scherzer, Corbin Burnes. I don't know. That is going to be a tough. That's going to be a tough decision when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I mean, because now you got to consider like Buehler and Scherzer like dueling each other.
K9, Scherzer, Burnes, Nola. Like, I don't see Buehler in top 3 in anything right now.
No, Buehler. Yeah, he's just under 10 K per 9, I believe.
And then you've got Sierra. I don't know if you're into that, but Corbin Burnes, Max Scherzer, Zach Wheeler. Is the
Sierra's
National League?
The reason I like Sierra is because it factors in the actual type of batted ball.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's one of those. I think it's one of those statistics where it's newer, and there's already so many pitching statistics that you add another one, and then you get like the casual baseball fans that are like, oh boy, like, you know, you've got to reach so far just to get a statistic that paints your argument the way that you want it to. It's like, well, no, I mean, just over time, you're going to have newer statistics that help out in a different way that's just more useful. But do you think entering play today on September 7th that the National League Cy Young Award has gone from a Walker Buehler conversation to now being a Max Scherzer, Corbin Burnes conversation?
Yes, I believe so. I absolutely believe so. Because
where do you have Zach Wheeler? Do you think there's, like, I would say, like, if you were going to do a pie chart, how much of that, like spread it out for me. How much of that is Burnes, Scherzer, Buehler, Wheeler?
Is it fair to just carve out 20% to each one of them?
No.
Why?
Because I think that Burnes and Scherzer deserve bigger slices of the pie at this point.
Why? Because at this point in time, Walker Buehler finally had his stumble outing. Who's to say that that's the only one, and he just jumps right back on the horse and has done what he's done all year long?
I'm just saying right now, in terms of what number. I'm not. No projections here. This is not if the season ended today, who wins? It's just taking stock of where we're at entering play today.
So then what do you go? You go 30, 60, 90, 10? 30%, 30%, 30%, 10% for Walker Buehler?
I give 10% to Zach Wheeler. I would give Scherzer and Burnes a comparable size of the pie that is bigger at this point than Walker Buehler's size. And I know that sounds crazy because I even saw Dodger fans were tweeting at me after his start when I kind of started thinking that way. So we'll go 30, 30,
25, 15.
Okay. But I still, yeah, okay. That's fair. I don't think the gap is that big, but I do think that as of right now, Burnes and Scherzer are in the top tier, and I would put Buehler in a second tier right now.
Well,
in one outing,
Buehler went from being the favored front runner to now playing a little bit of catch up. And that's what happens at the end of a season like this. And that's why, look, just my positive brain wants to say, like, yeah, Walker Buehler took it on the chin, but he's got 4 more outings that he could completely erase that last outing with.
No doubt.
And we're having this conversation right now because it's on the heels of a great outing from Scherzer, a great outing from Burns, and the worst outing of the season from Walker Buehler. So it's all kind of fresh in your mind right now. 2 dudes shoving, 1 dude getting lit, and now having to turn it back around to fucking stay in this conversation.
Yeah, I was getting tweets from like Dodger Karens, essentially. They were like, one bad start doesn't negate a whole season and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I get what you're saying, but I don't think you get what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this one bad start certainly doesn't negate all of the great starts that he's had this year. But at the end of the year, you look at the averages of everything that he's done, and this one bad start hurts his averages to a point where now other guys' averages are better.
Yes.
So one bad start can hurt you that badly.
Yeah, no, it absolutely
It's not that
can.
like, oh, he had one bad start, so he sucks now. It's like no.
It's like the quality start. You go out there, 6 innings, 3 runs. Well, if in that 6th inning I give up all 3 of those runs, I do not believe I had a good outing.
No.
While the numbers might tell you that it was a quality start, like in my mind, that was fucking terrible because I just gave up those 3 earned runs in that last inning. So no, that wasn't a quality start for me. Doesn't feel good, doesn't taste good, and that is how that happens. That's how that feels when you lose or when you have an outing like that. On the whole, one outing like that for Buehler makes it feel like, hey, you know what? I've had a great season, but that one outing doesn't define the whole season that I've had. But we can't ignore that one outing impacts the numbers to such an extent that those numbers that I'll be judged on for the best pitcher in the league, those numbers are impacted. And that's what the awards judged on. Because if you have 28 great starts to start the season, but your next 5 are dog shit,
that's it.
You don't feel like you've had a great season at the end of that. Maybe in January you come to terms with, on the whole, the body of work was okay, but how it ended was dreadful. So no, you can enjoy the 28 starts that came before the last 5 that were fucking god awful. I'm not going to chalk it up as a great year. I'll see you in January. Maybe I'll feel a little different.
Yeah. By the way, Max Scherzer also 37 years old. Like I think it would take a lot to dethrone Max Scherzer as the best big money contract in baseball history.
Not going to be done because it was one of the first, or it was the first like super just mega deal where people were really evaluating like, oh man, I don't know if that's going to be good for a pitcher. And he shut that down.
Yeah, he did. And he's still doing it because it's still the same fucking contract.
Yeah. Like he will easily be the one that you go to when we talk about those contracts being outperformed.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. It'd be very hard to top that. Roman. Most guys have tried different ways to last longer. Thinking about baseball doesn't always work. The folks at Roman, an online men's health company, are changing the game with Roman Swipes. It is the secret to longer-lasting sex. Roman Swipes are a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. They're effective, easy to use, and fast-acting, but don't require a prescription. Roman can ship swipes to you in a discreet, unmarked packaging, and each Swipes packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it. They're super easy to use. Just take the swipes out of the packet. Swipe it on. Thank you. Let it dry, and you're good to go. That's it. That's all you got to do. Just go to GetRoman.com/starting. You can get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That is GetRoman.com/starting. / starting. We already hit on the Charlie Morton 1-year extension with the Braves. The Mets swoop in and pick up Brad Hand.
They needed a helping hand, and they picked up a Brad.
Yeah, that quite simply just did not work out with the Blue Jays.
No. No other way to put that.
I want to say the Mets were in on Brad Hand before he went to the Nats, was it? Or was it after that? I know the Mets were interested at some point when he became a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of just bided their time, waited around, and got him for free. But at this point, I don't know that is he even a net positive at this point in his career?
For the Mets right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nah, I don't know.
This sucked. AJ Pollock, down and out, hammy.
Yeah. What else is new? I hate to say it, but I mean, he's been an injury guy forever.
He broke his arm getting up. Remember that? When he broke his elbow?
Yeah.
Like pushing up to push himself up from home plate, like sliding in. Just freak shit.
That happens. I mean, some guys just have it like that.
Yeah,
and he's one of them.
That just sucks. Sucks for the Dodgers, especially right now. Especially right now. You know what else sucks? For the Yankees? Sucks? Old Johnny Lasagna, as he's affectionately known.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Loaizaga.
Blows a hundo.
Not right now.
No, he doesn't. Shoulder. And this is on the heels of losing Zach Britton for the year.
Sucks.
I mean, the Yankees are reeling right now. They were winners of 13 straight, and then the green and gold Oakland A's put a halt to that, and they've been losing ever since. They lost a series to the Baltimore Orioles, which is embarrassing. They almost got swept. They should have gotten swept. First game of the series, they were losing in extra innings. Eventually won on the Stanton walk-off, but then they lost the next two, and I want to say they've lost 8 of 11, something like that. 7 of 9 since winning 13 straight. I think 7 of 9 might be right.
That's tough. Yeah, losing Loaizaga, that hurts. Because, I mean, entering the weekend, Saturday or Sunday? I think Sunday. They had like a top 5 number of wins for their bullpen. The top 5 ERA in their bullpen, top 5 whip, top 5 opponents' batting average. Like decent squad down there. Decent group. Loaizaga, a massive part of that. That's a big blow. Big blow. For
Huge blow. Huge blow for a team that is reeling. The Angels released Jose Iglesias, and he just showed up on the Red Sox front step. Acquired after September 1st, so obviously will not be eligible for the postseason roster. He's kind of just here while everyone else is. I mean, 1/3 of the Red Sox roster is just scattered throughout the country in different hotel rooms. You've got a couple guys. Actually, Kike comes back tonight, but Christian Arroyo's still stuck in a hotel in Cleveland. You got Bogey, Matt Barnes, Martin Perez. They're stuck in hotels in Tampa, and then now you've got like Nick Pivetta got scratched. That's why the Red Sox had to play a spring training game on Sunday. Poor Kevin Pilecki's getting crossed up, taking curveballs to the face because he doesn't even know who the fuck's on the mound. He's like, I don't even know what pitches you got, dude.
I'll say this: it's been a great show of perseverance from the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Winning these ball games with 10+ people on a quarantine watch. That's less.
They're
than
literally
ideal.
just plucking dudes off of waivers, being like, "Hey, can you play second base for us? I've never played second base. All right, well, can you play second base for us though? I'll give it a shot. All right, great, thanks. We appreciate it." Motter comes in, plays like 3 games for the Red Sox at second base because Kike's out, Arroyo's out. They're literally just asking random people, hey, can you play for the Boston Red Sox today? Okay, cool. We'll give you a jersey. What number do you want? Thanks for your service.
I don't know
DFA.
if that's a playoff hopeful approach, Jared.
Well, they're not playoff hopefuls. They are a playoff team.
They're
Which was
playing like a
how I
playoff
wanted to
team.
close with you. That's how I wanted to wrap with the final thoughts. Since we're in final thoughts right now, let me just run down some of these baseball reference playoff odds and let you I want to get where the temperature. You let me know if this sits well with you or doesn't sit well with you. You ready?
Sure.
The Rays, 99.9%.
Sits well.
Yeah. White Sox, 99.9%.
Sits pretty well. Very
The
comfortable.
Astros, 97.4%.
Pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah. Red Sox, 73.7%.
That seems awfully high.
So that doesn't sit well with you.
It just seems awfully high.
Well, I mean, you didn't say it sat well, so that means it must not sit well.
Just a little high for me. Just
So
a little high.
where would you have the Red Sox? What's the Dallas postseason odds for the Red Sox?
I mean, I got them at greater than a 50% chance right now as we sit
Okay.
today.
All right, but
because
give me a
as
number.
we
Give me a
sit
number.
today, they'd be 100%
you gotta give me a number,
in,
though.
right?
Yeah, give me a number. Yeah. What's the number?
Well, I'll just say better than 50%.
No, you got to give me a number. What's the number?
I'll say 51%.
51%, you think?
Yeah, slightly better than half. I told you better than half.
They've got a 3-game lead with how many games to go?
Hey, there's teams behind them that are hot, Jared.
The Red Sox are hot.
No, you just you just told the world they're not.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I said that they lost a game yesterday that they should have won.
no, they're in an infirmary right now, and that's not their
Nope.
fault. We're not making fun of that. That is what it is.
They haven't lost a series in 3 weeks. That's hot.
They've been
Anyways.
they've been winning the games they should at
Anyways.
the right time.
Yeah, your gauge is off. The Yankees, 67.4%.
So the Yankees have less of a chance to make the postseason than the Red Sox do, and the Yankees are in the first wild card spot. Am I understanding that
by
correctly?
By a half game.
What's that?
By a half game.
No, I mean, but am I understanding that correctly?
I think the postseason odds, they were probably like, this team can't even beat the Orioles, so we got to give the Red Sox a better chance of making the postseason.
And we also
than
have to
these.
remember that the Oakland A's, as you ask these questions, have the toughest road to the postseason.
Oh no, that's reflected in their odds, but we'll get there. We're not there yet. So 67.4, that doesn't sit well with you?
That sits well with me as a division leader, or excuse me, as a wild card leader right now, Jared. That I feel like I've got to take that.
Okay. The Toronto Blue Jays, 37.1%.
That doesn't sit well with me. None of these other numbers are going to sit well with me, Jared, because they're all going to be the teams that are in front of my team getting there.
Well, you need to put your bias aside.
I don't want to.
I forgot to preface this segment by saying take your bias out of it.
Okay, well then now I can play this.
37.1% for the Toronto Blue Jays. How's
That
that
doesn't
sit
sit well with me. I feel like if the Toronto Blue Jays can pitch well down the stretch and this lineup stays just even comparably as hot as they are right now, and maybe that's just me licking my wounds coming out of Toronto going, fuck, I want no part of that.
Yeah, they'd be a scary playoff team, in all seriousness. I would not, I don't care what the fucking overall team records are. I wouldn't want to play the fucking Toronto Blue Jays in a playoff series. No chance. No way. Especially the games in Toronto. Fuck that.
Oh. Ryu.
No thanks.
Ray.
I mean, Ray's getting game. This guy might win the Cy Young. If he doesn't, it's either first or second for Robbie Ray.
Yeah. Shout out to the folks that have been DMing me about the gambling. You're welcome.
What?
Some folks that are after baseball gambling picks that understand that they could go elsewhere. There's places that they are presented with information And there's places that have other information.
Got it. The Oakland A's, 14.9%.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me because I don't like it. It's that simple. I feel like that at this point in time, with what we've seen the Oakland A's do, that's a fair assessment.
So it is fair.
You have failed to capitalize at moments when you absolutely should have been able to capitalize. Should have. Not even should have been able to. Should have. And you didn't. So down the stretch, when you're supposed to be playing unselfish, quality baseball, supposed to be doing all the little things, and that's not happening at the most pivotal time, it's tough for me to go, well, let's just forget about that. I'll say this. Bob Melvin, the skipper of the Oakland A's, said that he does believe some of the A's best baseball is right around the corner. It's going to have to be, Bo Mel. Going to have to be.
Yeah. Can I ask you a personal question, Dallas?
Sure.
If the season ended today and the playoff picture was what it is right now, what team are you backing? What team gets the support of Dallas Braden? Where does that fandom lie? Who you riding with?
Well, I have long been on the White Sox wagon early. My Lance Lynn pick. I love Lou Bob. Love Lou Bob. Like, are you talking AL?
I mean, if it's up to you, wherever you want to go. What's your heart telling you?
Oh, well, I mean, then I feel like I could very well, and very easily
Be a Braves fan.
latch on to the Atlanta Braves. Very easily. And again, that's because of my family friend, guy who taught me how to play baseball.
Also, you've got to figure. I don't know how we would ever get that data, but the Atlanta Braves have to be one of the largest percentage fan bases that listen to Starting Nine.
Well, they're just one of the largest fan bases in general. You got to think about what TBS did for this team. Like, your owner created a channel to put you guys on. And people in California were sitting down to watch Atlanta Braves baseball. Yeah, the Braves are a traveling band. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
How do you think that power ranking shakes out in terms of fan bases, like top 5 fan bases that listen to Starting Nine?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably heavy Red Sox. A's fans listen to this. I don't think the A's fans are in the top 5, though.
You don't think so?
No, A's fans are weird, man. A's fans are weird. Like, they will either ride with you unwaveringly, or they will pick things to just, they're not moving off of this hill. Like, and that could be a fight that they had, an argument that they had in like 89. However they feel about some shit that, like, I don't know. It's just, it's weird. Like, that's why A's fans, as tribal as they are, like the vocal minority, like, because A's fans are still deciding whether or not they're mad at the ownership group, whether they're mad at a GM. Like, they're not really sure sometimes who they're firing their arrows at. And they've said, you know what? We're not coming to the game anymore. We're not fucking supporting this team. We're not anything. So I have a weird gauge of the interest level from A's fans, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the vocal minorities in the bleachers and shit, like, I talk to these people every day on Twitter. Like, just the engagement is there. But I would say I get, like, straight up, I get a lot of interaction from Yankee fans. A lot of interaction from Giants fans. Even before me and the Giants fan base just decided we were going to fucking throw blows till the very end of this.
You think a lot of Yankee fans listen to this?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely. Where else would they go for their baseball coverage?
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean,
Mets. There's a lot of Mets fans, actually.
Mets fans.
Yeah, we got a lot of Mets, Braves. I think my people in Milwaukee, they show out for this pod.
We know we got Pirates fans.
We got Pirates fans.
You know we got Pirates fans.
I know we got Rays fans.
Yeah, but power ranking, I don't know. Like, is Atlanta up there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that they're top 3.
Well, I was going to say, are they number 1?
No. I think we got a lot of Dodger fans.
Yeah, as far as traveling fan bases too, like that's where I thought you were going, was like power ranking the fan bases.
No. Like what fan bases listen to Starting 9 the most?
Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, but I think my dedication, my fandom shifts to the Atlanta Braves. And I got to watch the Atlanta Braves. I get to watch the Atlanta Braves. Hopefully I get to watch the Atlanta Braves ruin the San Francisco Giants' hopes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Milwaukee Brewers, and I was about to be upset.
No.
They got to go through Milwaukee first, and that's going to be very hard.
Who, the Braves?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, the Braves out of the 3 NL teams are going to have the lowest total of wins, so they're going to play the wild card team. Or no, the fucking, never mind. Shit.
The Giants are going to have a wild card
team.
team.
Yeah, so then it would be the Braves and the.
You don't want to come to Milwaukee. I'm telling you that right fucking now.
Oh, buddy. I'll come to Milwaukee and we'll do a fucking rain dance right out in front of the fucking field.
That's what I am kind of dreading, is like I don't want to be on the opposite side of Braves fans. Like, I love Braves fans. Well, especially after last year's playoff run. I feel like we bonded very well.
You got to pick a side, my friend.
Oh, no, I've already chosen my side. Like, I'm a Brewers fan.
Oh, so
I am a Brewers fan.
So roll up the sleeves.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Roll up the sleeves.
I'll be in Milwaukee, Division Series. Come catch me in the fucking parking lot.
I'm going to have to see now I got to start really engaging Braves Twitter. Start rallying the troops.
I'm telling you right now, like, it wouldn't shock me if the Braves were top 2.
Well, it's good that we're spreading the love.
Yeah. A lot of Braves, Starting 9 people, a decent amount of Dodgers, Brewers, Yankees, I think some Jays. I don't see many Tigers. I don't see a ton of Twins. Mariners. We got some Angels fans that are pretty vocal whenever
Halos
the pod
fans.
comes out.
Good portion of Halos fans.
Yep, definitely Mets, as we said. I know that there's a few smart Cardinal fans. Not the we're better than everyone Cardinal fans, like the self-aware Cardinal fans. And I don't think I've ever heard from, spoken to, or engaged with a Diamondback fan ever.
I'll always have a special place in my heart for Diamondback fans because they were the team that I called my first major league game of?
D-backs who?
D-backs Giants.
Oh.
Yeah. At the Bob. With one Dave Fleming. Shout out the Flem dog.
Big Flem.
All right. Final thoughts. That's what we got. A's taking on the Pale Hose in a 3-game set out here in Oakland after getting twerked in the 6. Shit or get off the pot time. Kind of been that way. That's all we got.
It's been tough. It's been tough to watch. I mean, you got to take advantage of this time right now, Dallas. Yankees are losing. Got to get in the mix. Got to start winning ball games. Let's go, Bo-Mel.
Didn't lose yesterday. That's a start.
Yep.
We are.